Hello, welcome back to another troubling instalment in Christian's sword review life. Excuse the formal attire, I've just got back from work. I don't normally wear things like this. I'm not like that guy who reviews fast food in his car, but he dresses up like he's going to a job interview to do it. It's not one of those. So, I'm crouching in front of the webcam here to talk to you about a new sword that I've just bought. It's just been delivered. But I have in my hands a piece of paper. No, I have in my hands a modern cold steel replica of a very famous sword, which is a 1796 like Cavalry Sabre. This is a very famous, well, this is obviously modern. It's not like one of the proper ones, but it's a very famous sought-after sword because, that's right, there's something on the, I think that's come from the scabbard. I'll deal with that later. Right, what's so special about this sword is it's very good at cutting, so you can't really see it very well with my my dark jumper in the way. But jumper? It's not a jumper, it's a shirt. But what makes this so formidable is it's thicker at this end, wider that way, I mean, than it is down here, and then it gets significantly thinner towards that bit as well, which means that it's called a hatchet tip, so it was very, very good at cutting. If you want a genuine antique one of these, it sets you back a lot of money. However, one of Britain's allies in those days, this is a British pattern, one of their allies was Prussia. And in 1811, the Prussians copied the sword. In fact, I think, from what I've read, that went wrong. From what I've read, many of the early 1811s were literally just 1796 blades with a different handle. Because they basically changed the handle slightly. So, wow, that is a lot of polystyrene, and I'm not looking forward to this. Let me get this out. That is definitely the worst type of polystyrene. Holy moly. Look at this stuff. It's like ceramic. That's horrible. Right, so basically what I'm getting at is if you want an antique 1796 like Cavalry Sabre, don't look for 1796 like Cavalry Sabres on the lines. Look for a Prussian Blücher. I'm never good at the ch sounds. Look for a Prussian Blücher Cavalry Sabre, because you will get one for half the price, and it has pretty much exactly the same blade and almost the same handle. So let's wrap this down. The opposite of wrapping it up. There we go. Oh, you can start to see it now. Oh, it's very well wrapped. Okay, oh, look at that beauty. Okie dokie. So, and there it is. So, you can see the handle is a little bit different. So the Prussians added a slightly thicker hilt and guard. I know this isn't a real one, but it's obviously based on a real one, so it gives you an idea. But aside from that, it's almost the same design. It's still that coffin handle, it's just a slightly different shape. I believe the blade was made slightly thicker as well. But reports differ. Right, let's get this bad boy open. Oh, that is gorgeous. Okay, so what I'd read was that they didn't have so much of a hatchet tip, but that definitely has a hatchet tip. Look at the difference in width there. Right, I'm gonna have to start measuring. Holy fuck! Right. Look at I'm not sure how well the camera really picks this up, but there we are. It's pretty thick there, and then it goes still quite thick, and all of a sudden it's not thick. I can't even get it in shot properly. Oh, that is a nice fucking sword. I'm really happy about this. So, if you look at, here it is. I can already read that now. There we are. All this information was included on the listing, but I've completely forgotten. So it says AMX and then 6 dot. It looks like 28 or 26. Nice. Very, very nice. And there's a mark here, the manufacturer's mark. It looks like something W71. It's a bit worn, you can't really see. Ah, here we are. I knew I'd seen this somewhere on one of the pictures. It's on here, on the hill. It just, on the guard, it says AMX 638. Then W71. Oh, it was a crown above the W. I'm sure... I must be misremembering. I looked at so many of these, I can't remember what I looked at and what I didn't. Right, so it's got some... It's a bit oily. They've obviously oiled it for transit, that's nice of them. There's some of that like patina style stuff on the blade, but all in all, it's actually in really good condition. It's not shiny, obviously, but that's just because it's old. I mean, the light is reflecting on it, so that doesn't really help, but let's bring the other one out for comparison. I'm going to dual wield Historical Accuracy 101. I don't care so much about mistreating this one because it's not a real one. There you are. You can probably see the difference now in the quality, the condition of the blade. Right. So initial comparisons. Obviously, this is a 1796 like Cavalry Sabre. This is an 1811 pattern Blücher Cavalry Sabre, but they should be largely the same. The Blücher is wider. I'm not sure how well you can really see that. It's very obvious to the naked eye. Blücher's on the right for you. I think you can probably see it a bit more. Actually, it doesn't really come across very well on the recording, but I can definitely see that. Yeah, it's slightly thicker looking at it this way. It does feel slightly heavier. It's in my right hand, which is obviously my strongest arm. So, and the fact that my right arm is starting to ache more suggests that this one's heavier because I'm feeling it in the stronger arm. But then I have been holding things for a while, so this one would feel it first. I'm not 100% sure. 638. So, presumably, is that... Now, does 638, is that some sort of regimental number, or are they saying June 1838? We should have a look. I think I remember reading that... Hang on. Yeah, I'm literally holding the scabbard in my foot. I think I remember reading that they changed the pattern that they used for their sabres in 48. So 38 would make sense because this is definitely an 1811 pattern. It's not one of the late ones. They made them a bit thinner. He did say there was some movement in the in this bit where one of the washers is worn. I can't feel much, to be honest. I can't feel much movement there at all. That's still pretty solid. I don't feel like it's going to fall apart. I feel like I could probably swing it around and it wouldn't break. I'm not an expert. Don't criticise my technique. I just like collecting them. I don't fight with them or anything. Is it sharp? No. What about there? No, it's not sharp at all. It's old though. Sweet. So this is, if that 38 is the date, or is the 71 the date? But if the 71's the date, I don't understand why. Maybe they just liked the pattern. What was I going to say? I was going to say something and I've forgotten what it was. I really like this. I've obviously wanted a 1796 Sabre for a long time. And this is lovely. This is pretty much it, but for half the price. I might need to do something about that up there. There's a bit of rust. Rust? Anybody? No. Yeah, this is an awesome thing to have. It's just a lovely sword, and there's something about having a genuine antique. The craftsmanship is just that little bit better. It feels like to me anyway. Like I've always said, because I've got that artillery officer's sword from 1864. It's a bit like I'm not exactly sure what 100% what pattern it is. It's like an 1821 like Cavalry Sabre sort of style. And that's so good in your hand, like, and it just feels really solid, sturdy. And I always said, like, even though I have these modern ones, if I was in a duel and I had to pick my weapon, I'd pick the antique because it's just better made. It's a bit lighter than this one as well. If it was a fight, I'd still pick the lighter one. Because the 1796 or the Blücher Sabre is a cutting weapon, first and foremost. It cuts. That's pretty much what it does. You can stab with it, but not as well as like with a rapier or something. Whereas something more like a... just got distracted by the scabbard. Something like a 1821 pattern style thing. It's slightly narrower and less curved. Not hatchet tipped either, like spear point. It can cut and thrust, which is the difference. It's like if you have a rapier, it doesn't really cut, it just thrusts. Obviously you can cut with it, but why would you? And it slots into there lovely. Right, cool. So, that's what I've been up to. The handle is a little bit worn, as you can see, but like it's 200 years old almost, so you can forgive that. Awesome. I'm really happy about this purchase, just FYI. Very, very happy. I just need a fucking rack to put all these things on now. How many swords is that now? 8. I've got this is this one, the Blücher Sabre. There's the artillery officer's sabre. There's the two antiques. Then there's the katana that you saw in the previous video. There's the 1796. There's the Sabre from Cold Steel as well. There's the 30th Dragoons sabre. There's the Swedish one, the Carolina one. I can't remember what it's called. That's it, I think. I think that's everything. Yeah, real swords anyway. That's really cool though. I'd recommend it. I better mention where I bought it from. Antique Sword Trader in the UK. I think it's like literally just antiqueswordtrader.co.uk. So I can confirm that they are reputable. It's as described as well. In fact, if anything, I'd say it's a little bit better than described, because the looseness in the hilt I can't fucking feel at all unless he's fixed it. So yeah, recommended. Join me next time in the future if I happen to buy another sword. I'm off in the corner of I'm like a badly taken photo, and you get to see my untreated ceiling. But yes, I won't be buying any more swords for a long time because this is very expensive, despite being half the price of a 1796. But I don't know. I think I've shown off bits and bobs of the sword collection here and there. I've never done like a proper video on each one. I don't profess to be an expert, I just like them, and I repeat facts that I've heard other people say. But I don't know, if you want to see anything about all the other ones, let me know, leave a comment. I'm not a sword review channel. I do video games, but I also like swords. And I thought people who watch the EU4 videos probably are interested in this sort of thing as well. So I thought I'd do it, and plus I'm chuffed to bits about owning this, so I wanted to show it off. So thanks for watching, see you next time, bye! Boop!